I can head to discussion. Now, we could have open-ended or closed discussions. So I can use a prompt like, for example, name the conservation measures that are possible to study through earth science. Okay, and so I'm going to add another discussion prompt. The earlier one was a close-ended prompt. This is an open-ended question. So I'm going to type, how does technology prompt the or help the study of earth science, and I'm saving it. Maybe I'll add one last discussion prompt. Depending on the level of the learner, I could grade it. So I'm going to make it an open-ended question, as in, could earth science have an interdisciplinary approach, right? In other words, or I'll write, for example, could one understand the migration and settlement of communities in the light of the shifting land masses or natural phenomena which are very much a part of earth science. So I'm going to save this. So I have 3 discussion prompts, and my learners are free to respond to any of these. And now I'm going to go to the final stage. It says, and finally, and I think this is for closing thoughts and remarks. So I'm going to leave this with yet another question, and I'm going to ask my students to problematize some areas of social sciences which could, in fact, the last question in the discussion stage just gave me an idea. So could you problematize some areas of social sciences which could be better understood with the help of some aspects of earth science, right? So this is my lesson, and now okay, so now I have made these changes and now I'm going to publish it, right? So when I publish it, it's taking some time, but it will lead me to this page, to this window where it will give me 2 options. One which will say that which is if my students have TED accounts, which they do not. So I'm going to obviously choose the second option, and I'm going to click on share your lesson. Now when I do that, it gives me a link. So I can copy this link, and to be on the safe side, I'm also going to share this, send this to my other email ID, uh, the video and attempt the tasks for your upcoming lecture on Wednesday. So I have given some additional information or inserted an additional comment so that my students know where I'm coming from, and now I'm going to click on send. So it says it has been sent successfully. Again, now I can go back to my activity page, or I can click on see your lesson. So when I do this, right, so I can see this is my lesson which has been created, and I click on discussions. Of course, no one has responded so far. It also says that the lesson has been created by me. So I'm going to go back. Right. This is the URL, right? And let's see what happens. So when I paste this, it takes me to this page which says lesson created by Shyaonti Talwar. Now let's see, we can also see the leading questions. If you remember the introductory questions which we had inserted, so even before the student clicks on watch over here, the student has been led into the topic, which I find very, very useful. So the student clicks on it and the video starts to play. So there's a full screen option here, right? So I'll pause this and I will press the escape button. Now what happens after this? After this, the student goes to this stage, which is the task stage. Now, okay, now this is correct, but say I were to click on an incorrect option. So the feedback is immediate. It says this wasn't it, try again. Now what if I'm not sure, so I go to video hint. Now when on video hint, from the beginning of the planet 4.6 years ago. So did you hear that? The video hint clearly gives the answer to this question, that the beginning of the planet was 4.6 billion years ago. Now that's a hugely useful and beneficial tool. It's a very handy tool, and I think, in my opinion, it creates a lot of learner autonomy, where the learner just, he or she is pretty much on their own, but at the same time there's this invisible presence of the teacher, and the learner is constantly being guided and helped by the teacher. Now we go to this stage. Either we go to number 2 and the learner types his or her response here and clicks on save my answer, and then we go to dig deeper. Now in dig deeper, if you remember, I had given a link of some additional reading material. So this is a URL now, and let's see what happens when we click. So here's the article which I want my learners to read on earth science. Right? Now I click on next section again, and we have these 3 discussion prompts. So let's see. View discussion. Let's see what happens. Okay. So the learner can respond over here, right? And click on respond. And finally, when I click on finally, it shows the question which were kind of my closing thoughts. So this is what I can see as a learner, right? Now, let me see as a teacher, when I see my lesson, so I see it like this, and this is how you use the material, the resources, and the facilities that are given on TED. So you can either use the lessons that are already created by teachers from across the world on TED, or you can join the pool and create your own lessons and share it with your students and have the whole world see your lessons.